78 win over number 22 Indiana in Indianapolis today. No worries, Hoosier fans. You were able to get yours back in Indianapolis tonight with a Big Ten football championship because Indiana is now apparently a football school through and through. The football
Did
team has
anybody
never been
find
down
Goodman?
6.
Is he there? Like, when we find him, he's like what is he doing? Like, did he rush the field?
He's lost in the sauce right now, McCall. We probably won't see him again for another 48 hours. Indiana football's never been down 16-0 is the only thing I'm going to say, not this season at least. But I think – so the headline here for me is Louisville goes on the road and gets beat by an Arkansas team, Norm, that I think is much better than we probably are giving them credit for, looking at the way that some of these other results have played out. You go and you play Michigan State to one possession in East Lansing. That looks pretty impressive right now. You hang with Duke for 38 minutes. That looks pretty impressive right now. And you beat up on Louisville. They were up by, I think, 18 at halftime on the Cardinals there. So Louisville's bounced back. And they still don't really have Michael Brown playing great. Are you feeling good about this team? Where do you stand on Louisville right now?
I think I feel good about him. If they can get the big kid through to play like he played today, he gives them a new dimension. And he was attacking the hoop. He was a physical presence. I thought that helped their outside game by having an inside game as well. I thought they defended extremely hard today. And I thought Mikel Brown really started the game off looking to set up his teammates more than score the ball. And I think that's a good thing for their team because it shows that they can play in different ways. So Louisville looked really, really good today. I would say that Indiana looked limited because if DeVries and Wilkerson aren't scoring, they are going to struggle bad.
Yeah, Indiana doesn't have a point guard, Matt. They don't have a point guard. Mm-hmm. Well, they do, Tatum Conroy, but I don't know if he's 1 assist, 5 turnovers, 21 minutes, 2 for 7 from the floor against Louisville. He did not look like a guy that was ready to play for a team that was going to be, or play against a team that's sitting here in the top 10 in the country. Reed Bailey, 8 points, 5 boards. He looked very thin against Louisville's front line, and it's not like Louisville has the biggest front line in America. I think that's a problem. You don't have a point guard and a 5-man that's good enough.
Yeah, this is one of those things coming out of the loss to Minnesota too. I mean, you follow this up with the performance today. This is one of, we got to go back. We got to do some soul searching. We got to get back to work. You know, this is one of those team meetings where you shut the door, you put a bunch of circles in a chair, put a bunch of chairs in a circle and say, hey guys, like, we got to figure this out a little bit. Like, what's going on with this unbelievable environment? Like, take nothing away from what Louisville did. But in terms of Indiana, like, they've got to find themselves a little bit here. But on the Louisville side, I mean, Conwell he was outstanding. I mean, how he was playing in pick and roll, coming down, making threes in transition. I mean, it was electric. And to see, what they were able to do and how they were able to get out to that 16-0 lead, they really never looked back. I know there was some fight, from Indiana there. They tried to cut into the lead. They scored 51 points in the second half, but it was like Louisville's game from the jump, and the environment said that. And so I just think for Indiana, this is hey, we've got to find ourselves a little bit. Like, who's initiating offense? How are we playing on the offensive end of the floor? Like, it can't just be, Tucker DeVries trying to do it all himself. I know he went for 26 tonight, 5 of 14 from the field, but they gotta figure some things out. It was almost like it felt like a hangover out of the Minnesota game to go and play this game, and you could see it from the jump. I mean, Louisville took it to them.
Yeah, Norm, I've always kind of thought with this Indiana group, right, that there was a little bit more of a ceiling here than maybe I saw today. And when you're watching them today, I can't help but think about, like, the other sideline, right, and the way that it kind of went with Pat Kelsey when he got that job, where They didn't have the greatest start to the season, but they put it together in ACC play. They got on a little bit of the run. He got in the tournament, and he built some momentum and built some goodwill in that fan base and built some excitement within a city and a town that really cares about basketball. And I feel like it's kind of the same thing with DeVries this year in Indiana, right? No one is necessarily expecting him to get to a Final Four with this group in year one. Yes, they spent a bunch of money to build this roster, but I think it's continue to improve, continue to get better, to continue to play a fun brand of basketball, and do enough where you hear your name called on Selection Sunday and you can say, look, we're trending in the right direction. Make sure you have that funding for next year. Make sure you're able to divert some of the money that's probably going to end up going to the football team back into the basketball program and continue to build this thing and grow. Because I don't think you can only look at it as a one-year thing with Darren DeVries, which sounds kind of obvious, but like you got to be able to get into the dance, build some momentum, and get this thing going again. Because they do play a pretty brand of basketball when they get going.
I think they're going to get in the dance. I think they're going to be good enough to do that, and they can score the ball. And DeVries, make no mistake, he's a very, very good coach, and he'll get them back to guard. Like I don't think they defended as well as they would have liked to. They've got to build some type of a physical presence on the inside. Their front court needs to be much more physical, especially playing in that Big Ten. And to me, I thought Hadley and Frew and Pryor, I thought those guys were just more physical than their big guys. And so they're going to have to develop that over time. They've got great shooters. They do play fast. They do play a fun brand of basketball, but they've got to get much more physical to be really successful in the Big Ten.
McCall, any last thoughts?
No, I'm totally with Norm. I mean, this Big Ten. I mean, it is, it got off to a rough start today, and it's a bear. It's got off to a rough start today in some of the early games, but the response in some of the later games, the response of, Illinois, and I know we're going to get out of the game against Tennessee to see, how they bounce back after a tough loss to UConn, but physicality up front, you're going to have it. Like to win in this league, win the league, you're going to have physicality up front. And that's the only issue I see right now with the Hoosiers because they've proven that they can make shots from the perimeter. And I'm with Norm. I think DeVries, he's a ball coach. Like that guy knows how to coach basketball. There's no question about it. He's won wherever he was. To see the turnaround that last year at West Virginia, taking over a very, very challenging and difficult situation. The guy knows exactly what he's doing, and they're going to win some games. I think they're an NCAA tournament team. Just didn't play well. Didn't play well today. Didn't play well against Minnesota. They're going to go back into the gym and correct those things because he's as detail-oriented as a coach, that's out there. So they're a tournament team, but they just got to improve and get better at some things.